coaching and physio, and today we're just going to go through a little Pilates class which we can do before we start our tennis season. Wimbledon's on the horizon, and we thought to go with this month's newsletter, we do a little bit of work looking at exercises that are really good before we pick up that racket. So if you've got a red little softball, one of our exercise balls, that's brilliant, you can use that. If not, you can do a lot of the same exercises without that. We're going to start in standing then. Feet together, turn toes out, bring your heels in line. So we're coming to that hip distance apart position. Knees slightly soft. Rest those hands onto your bones, either sides of your pelvis, and we'll go into our small pelvic tilt. So as always, at the beginning of every Pilates class, we're going to think about that beautiful Pilates posture. We're finding that neutral position, eyes of the pelvis facing forwards and front, and gently drawing your tummy button through to your spine to support. Taking your ball into your hand if you've got that, we're reaching the arms out in front, keeping the knees slightly soft so we're not locked out, and we start with some arm openings. So as you breathe out, we're taking one arm out to the side, following with the upper body, and as we breathe in, we come back to the centre. And we're going to alternate that side to side, allowing the arm that moves to take the ball with it there, into that rotation, back to the centre. Now, for our tennis, we need a lot of rotation through the upper body, opening through the shoulder there. So we're going to increase this that little bit more by adding in a side body stretch. So once you've taken the ball towards the back of the room, I want you to reach up in a big arc towards your front hand. So we're going into a little bit of a side bend. Then we open again to the back of the room and we circle back to the centre. Over to the opposite side, we rotate round, reach up and over in that beautiful arc into that stretch, open to the back of the room and circle back to the centre. And again, now your chin is staying in line with your breastbone. So yes, your head moves in line with your body, but you're not moving just the neck here. We are trying to get that mobility through the spine, through that rib cage, through those shoulders. Once more each way. So we'll open, reach up and over to the back of the room and back to the centre. And last one on this side. We open, reach up and over to the back of the room and back to the centre. Brilliant. Roll those shoulders back and down. Gently nod your chin towards your chest. And we'll lift up and away. Now I'm going to go sideways on for the next series of exercises. Lots and lots of lunging, lots and lots of stepping as we come into playing tennis. So again, we're going to practice going through a little bit of work for that. Ball between your hands if you've got it. And we're stepping forwards with one foot, squeezing the ball as you go, stepping that foot back in line. And we're going to alternate that. So, as you bring your weight forwards through that front leg, there's that little bit more work through the muscles, through that lower limb. But also, we've got that balance work as well, as we place the foot forwards and we place the foot back. There is a link between that gentle squeeze with your hands into the ball and that work from your centre. Now you can stay here, or we can increase that little bit more. As you step forwards, we're going to drop into a lunge, reaching your arms out in front of you, and then we spring back. And again, we'll alternate that side to side, reaching the arms forwards and back. So we're, again, increasing that load a little bit through the upper limb, just as you would if you had your racket into your hands. Being careful that as we step forwards and drop into that knee bend, that we're keeping the knee in line with that second toe and trying not to go over the front of the foot. So that back leg is dropping down towards the floor behind. As we step and return. Little wobble there, step and return. Step and return. So again, to bring back in a little bit more rotation work here, what we'll do is we'll step side to side for 3, 2, and 1. Hold. Turn towards your front leg with those arms reaching wide. Squeezing the ball back to the centre. We're going to repeat that for 3. Once more. Back to the middle. Step that foot back in, and we'll go for another 3, 2, and hopefully seamlessly it'll be our other leg. So again, squeeze the ball, rotate with the upper body, long arms towards the front leg, back to the centre. 2, back to the centre. Last 1, back to the centre, and step that foot back in. Fantastic. Got us a little bit warmer through the legs there. Take your left foot forwards, right foot behind, turned out slightly to about 45 degrees there. You're going to have the ball between your hands. If you haven't got the ball, you can just have your hands together. We're going to start with the ball up towards that right-hand side of your body. We're coming across the body with the ball then, as you bring your weight further forwards through that front knee to tap the ball to the knee there. And then we straighten the front leg as we lift that ball back towards the back of the room. And we're repeating that there. It's gliding forwards as you bring the arms round, straightening that leg and gliding back as we reach towards the back of the room. Again, your head and neck follows in line with your body as you turn, but the head and neck isn't turning off just on its own there. Really, again, linking that squeeze into the ball and that control from your centre. Last 2, coming forwards and out. Last 1 and out. Brilliant. Keep the legs as they are. Maybe turn that right foot slightly more towards the front of the room there. So you've got your left toes pointing towards the wall, right foot facing forwards and front. We're going to open those arms wide, having the ball in your right hand. Soften that front knee to bring yourself forwards into that warrior type pose there. Arms reaching wide. We're standing strong. Hold that knee fold as much as you can, and we're going to take the ball from that back arm up and over towards the front hand, and we release. Now you can come out of that knee fold on the front leg if you need to, but if you can, we're really, again, firing those muscles through the legs, as well as that work through your centre to hold that posture as we curve up and over and back and round with that shoulder there. 3, 2, and 1. Then take that back arm, that right arm down to the leg, straighten that front knee, reach that left hand up towards the ceiling, and as long as you feel okay with your neck, you can look up towards that hand. And then we'll release that arm, step that left foot back in, and we're going to do all of that in reverse. So take your, I'll do this one facing forwards and front for a slightly different view. Take your right foot forwards, left foot behind, again with your left foot turned out to about 45 degrees. Your ball this time is in your left hand, and we're going to fold that front knee. I go slightly sideways, you can see me a little bit better there. And again, we're dropping into that warrior type pose as you bring your weight forwards through the front foot. Nice and wide through the shoulders and lift through the crown of your head. We're bringing that weight forwards and front to your hands and back to the back of the room. And again, forwards and front to your hands and back to the back of the room there. Again, try to keep that knee folded on that front leg if we can, and we'll keep that curve beautifully large through the shoulders. Reaching up and across and back to the centre. And again. 2 more, as large as you can. And last one. Then we'll keep that arm nice and wide. Soften that front knee a little. Bring your back arm down to that back leg. As we straighten the front leg, then we're reaching that right arm up towards the ceiling. We'll release that hand. Take the ball into both hands. Turn that foot back foot slightly so you feel steady. And then again, we're going into that sideways movement. So front leg starts straight and we're coming across the body towards that right knee as you bring the ball down. And then we release back in that diagonal line. So you can squeeze gently into the ball as you do that turn. Again, with the front leg, just be careful that that knee isn't going too far over those toes at all. We want to have the stride as large as you can do comfortably without sliding to allow that rotation through the body, but not put that strain through that front knee. We'll do just a last two here, and last one. Then we'll stand tall, bring the ball back down, turn your right foot in so you're now in a nice wide stride stance. Toes turned out about 45 degrees there, and we're going into some wide-based sumo squats. So sitting back as you reach the ball forwards and back to the centre. Sinking down through those hips, push the sit bones towards the back of the room. We're starting to open into the groin that little bit more as well as we sink down and stand tall. Brilliant, well done. Let's do another 3, 2, and 1. And then we're going to go for a wide-based roll down. So nod your chin towards your chest. Take the ball forwards with you, coming down into that wide-based roll down position as much as you can. If you want to, you can reach the ball between your legs and reach with those fingertips over the top as you nod your chin towards your chest and feel that lovely stretch. Breath in. As you breathe out, leave the ball onto the floor. Soften the knees slightly, draw under from your tailbone, coming back to standing tall. Let your shoulders go back and down and lift up through the crown of your head. Take a nice big deep breath in, fold to the back of your head and neck, shrug your shoulders, relax and lengthen. Reach those hands up and out, let your arms come down, pull your shoulders back, and then we're resting your hands onto the front of your thighs. We're going to slide down into that sumo squat position again. We're resting your hands lightly, not leaning too heavily. And I want us again to think about a little bit of rotation. So we're coming across the body and back to the centre, as if you're bringing that opposite shoulder in the direction of the knee. We come across and open to the front. Now you could come up a little bit more with the legs if you need to. Make sure you've got that centre engaged to protect through the base of the spine as we just work into that little bit of rotation. Across and centre. Across and centre. Once more each way. And then we'll come back to that mid position. Standing tall through the legs, we'll zigzag those feet back to the centre there. Roll the shoulder blades back and down. Nod your chin towards your chest. Follow the line of the leg into that roll down and stretch. Breath in. Press through the heels. Draw your tailbone under. Come back to standing tall. Float those arms around and up towards the ceiling. Press the air back and down. And let your shoulders go back. Grab your ball. We're coming down and onto the mat into side lying. So, coming over onto your side there, bottom arm lengthened out as long as that's comfortable for you. If not, bring that arm forwards. Don't need your ball for a moment, but keep it handy. We're going to have feet, knees and hips stacked. Feet in line with your hips, hips in line with your shoulders there. We're pushing that top waist away and we're peeling that top knee up into our level 1 climb. Now remember, we've got that lovely glass of Pimm's waiting for us after our tennis match on that top hip as we draw that knee up and slowly down. Making sure we're keeping that top and bottom waist equal, keeping that top shoulder relaxed. And we'll do another 3, 2, and 1. Bring those feet up. We're going straight for an open
chain exercise if you can then from there. Remember, you can always go back to your level 1 climb if you need to, but we're going to lift that knee, straighten the leg, fold the knee to bring the feet back together and coming slowly down. So a lot more work through the hip there, a little bit more work through the thigh as well. So if this feels a little too much around your hip, you can always go back to that level 1 climb and do another set there. But if we can, we're building up that control through the back of the pelvis again, increasing that rotation control. Again, let's see if we can do another 3, 2, and last one. Brilliant. Bring those feet back together, bring that knee down, bring those feet down. Grab that towel, roll it up, and we're just going to do a couple of nice arm openings here. So bottom arm out in front of you, ball between your hands there. Roll that top hand over the bottom arm there. Feel that stretch through your shoulder, pull back in line, take that arm up and round into your rotation, letting again that head follow in line with your breastbone. And again, we reach forwards, pull back, take that arm up and over and back to the centre. Once more, as large as you can. We'll reach, in line, up and over and back to the centre. Then we're going to sit up and do those over and onto that opposite side. So coming down to the opposite end of your mat. Again, bottom arm lengthened away, feet, knees and hips stacked. Feet in line with your hips in line with your shoulders there. Push that top waist away. Keep that pins safe. We're very nearly at the point where we can actually drink it after our Pilates rather than after our tennis match, don't worry. But we're floating that top knee up and slowly down. Using those glutes on that upper side there. Keeping the neck and shoulder nice and relaxed. And again, let's go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then again, stay here, or if you can, float those feet up. We'll lift, lengthen that leg, fold, and bring the knees back together. And again, lift, lengthen that top leg, fold, let your knees come back together there. Brilliant. Still think we're keeping the top and bottom waist the same length. We're keeping that rotation at the hip as we squeeze through the thigh, straightening the leg away, finding that foot and bringing that knee back down. Well done. Last 2 here. Lift, lengthen, fold and lower. And last one. Lift, lengthen, fold and lower. Bringing those feet back down. We're rolling that towel up. Bringing that bottom arm out, roll forwards, feel that lovely stretch through the upper back there. Take that hand up and over into that rotation and back to the centre. Now remember, you can just slide your hand along that bottom palm. If you haven't got the ball there, that's absolutely fine. Lovely long reach for this last one. Bring the ball back in. Float that arm up and over and back to the centre. Popping that ball down then, we'll push ourselves up and into sitting. Fold that right knee, bring it across your left leg if you can. Hug with that left arm. Turn to look towards your right. Feel that stretch through the right hand side of the body there. Going as far as you need to. Breath in and out. And we'll come back to the centre, uncross that leg, lengthen the leg away, fold in the opposite knee there, crossing across if you can, give that leg a hug, rotate round all the way through that trunk, stretching through the back of the hip, breath in and out. And then we'll come back to the centre, uncross those legs, and we are ready for that match and for that glass of pins. Well done everyone.